Go. Welcome back to the Fungal Lizard podcast. Working title. I mean, that could be the final title.
I mean, it's not bad. I'm trying to think of a funny title that's like a good pun on mushrooms and lizards.
Yeah, but Fungal Lizard, it's like perfect.
It's like a fungal in the jungle.
Shut the fuck up.
Ready to fungal in the jungle?
No! There's bugs! And I love bugs, but I don't want to get my ass torn up by mosquitoes.
Lizards eat bugs, so you're good.
Oh.
What is our topic today, Belle? What is it? One of our topics, anyway. We'll probably segue back into art, but we're beginning with...
I'm going to talk about why I'm upset that we're learning C in programming class. And I'm sure many of y'all disagree, but I think it's...
I see a bad program,
I'm just going to say it right here. I think it's fucking stupid. And I don't think C is inherently a bad language. You know, it laid out the foundation for C++, which is still, relatively well used, right up there with Java. But here's my problem. Who the fuck uses C? Like, I'm sure there are reasons. And I'm sure there are certain, machines that do mainly use C or something based off of it. But when you have more powerful options, if you're coding for yourself or even for a company, I don't see why you would use C.
I think, wouldn't it be because it's like, if C is the basis of C++, maybe he wants you to, learn, the basic where C++ came from so that you can know, the basis of it when you transfer to C++.
I don't see why that's terribly important because it's sort of like with Java, we didn't learn anything before Java, we just went straight into Java, and that's complicated still. I don't see the point of learning C if we're going to be moving to C++ for most of the semester. Because, yes, the syntax is similar, but there's still going to be some differences. So it's like, why learn this when it's still similar enough to Java, per se? I don't see the fucking point in it.
I mean, that makes sense. What is the difference between C and, Java and all that shit? I know they're different coding languages, but do they have specific purposes?
Well, first of all, C is decades old, and only everybody's wrinkly-ass grandmother's going to be using it. But Java is considered more powerful by some people because it's object-oriented, which means I could... So let's say I have blueprints for a building. But I don't have a building, right?
Yeah.
But I can use those blueprints for that building. And then that building can do what the blueprints said that building could do.
So it's telling an object within the coding to do something.
Basically, it says, this is what you can do with this. And each object has specific purposes.
Then does C++ not do that?
Well, C++, I believe, has some object-oriented capabilities. Could be talking out of my ass here because I haven't, researched C++ enough yet. But C, instead of that, it has libraries that you include, which have different functions, which is
input, output?
Yeah,
okay.
The ones that I was using. And, it doesn't have a whole lot built in with itself then. Unlike Java, there's a lot that it's already got built in.
Okay.
However, this can come inconvenient because then you don't need to make objects. But if you can't make objects, there are certain things that are more difficult to do, and it's kind of a give and take, I suppose. But generally, object-oriented programming is more powerful.
Is C++ harder than Java? Because I know that in our robotics club in high school, we used, the programmer used C++ in order to program the robot.
I mean,
That's my extent of knowledge. Also, I did learn HTML in high school. What is the difference between HTML also?
HTML is for making websites and stuff. It's not necessarily for making a whole big program. It's more for just
Servers?
building a web page.
Okay, because that's what we did.
I could be talking out of my ass though, because I never actually learned HTML yet. I do plan on it, but it's what was used for making web pages and stuff.
That's what we used for it in high school, so that would make sense.
Yeah, it's not the same as something like C or Java.
How many coding languages are there? Like, are there many, or is it like, do you have hierarchies of like Java's the big one, C++ is like another one?
There are ones that are more commonly learned, but there's a lot. Theoretically, someone could make their own. Because all a programming language does is it allows you to use things that are close to English to tell the computer what to do. Because the computer doesn't understand words. Programming language takes what you're saying and converts it to something the computer can understand.
So it's a translator.
Sort of. From my understanding, remember, I'm only a freshman. I could be talking out of my ass. I don't think I am, though.
I know that my experience with HTML was brief and fleeting like my love life, but I know that it was very... it was very difficult to remember all the bits and pieces, but I do remember, like, it was... When we used it primarily a web page, primarily to make a server, we all copied from a template and began to alter it to learn the language. And it was weird because you could write the code in Notepad and it would work.
Yeah, Notepad is used for some languages, such as, HTML and, God, what else can you make in Notepad? You can make a bat file, which is just command line.
Which program can you theoretically program a video game on? Which is the best engine for that?
Well, you'd need to make your own engine, but, I mean, you can make programs in lots of languages. Minecraft was made completely in Java. People make programs in C++. If you just want to make games, though, there are software that let you do that have their own sort of language.
Okay.
Like, I know they get a lot of flack, but Game Maker is one that combines code with some drag and drop stuff, and it's made specifically for making games, as well as I'm drawing a blank. Why can't I think of the word?
Explain it.
It's just another program that helps you make games using their specific code and whatnot. It's a little more well respected than Game Maker.
Is there any big games that have been made on it?
Well, sure. There's lots of games that are made in Game Maker and
No, on the
other
one you're trying to think of, so you can draw a name.
Why can't I think of it? God. Okay, well,
You're not a real MLG gamer? Question mark?
I don't make games.
That's true.
But a lot of people make their own engines using whatever language they so choose. But yeah, you could make a game in Java. You could. Java actually has its own built-in graphics stuff, but a lot of people prefer to use something like OpenGL, I think. Unity.
I've heard,
Wait.
yeah, that's the one that Assassin's Creed was on, isn't it? The Unity engine?
Really?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed was made in the Unity engine, as far as I know.
Really?
I believe so. I could be talking out my ass, but I believe I've heard that before.
Yeah, Unity game engine. But yeah, this has had some well-known games made in it, I do believe.
Look up the games.
Unity games. Thomas Was Alone. That was most of Unity games. So these are all the good ones. These are the good ones, kiddos.
I think the best game that was ever made digitally was probably Cookie Clicker. What engine was Cookie Clicker on?
Shut the fuck up. Android apps. You could use like Game Maker does escort to Android, but I do believe most of Android's apps run off of Java.
What was the first programming language? Is there one?
Punch cards.
Okay. Well, I mean, they did feed those in the computer, so they worked.
Yeah. Well, binary, I guess. That's straight up what the computer reads.
Is binary a language separate from Java, or does it work in conjunction?
Every programming language
Works with binary.
puts stuff into binary, I suppose. From my understanding, assembly is supposed to be very basic, very close to. Yeah, it's very low level, which means it's very close to machine code.
Okay.
Let's look up what the first programming language.
Why do computers have to read through coding and not like English or like just any language in general?
Because they run off of binary.
Okay, so it has to be it's like a pathway to binary.
Sort of. History. The earliest known programmable machine preceded the invention of the digital computer. It is an automatic flute player. This is not what we were looking for, but
Ooh.
9th century during the Islamic Golden Age.
And
That's pretty neat.
yeah, we learned about that. It was in Baghdad. Well, we learned about the Islamic Golden Age in biology. The C programming language.
Well, that's not the first, but...
It's one of the first. It's old.
History, early developments. The earliest computers were often programmed without the help of a programming language. Yep. By writing programs in absolute machine language. The programs in decimal or binary form were read in from punch cards or magnetic tape.
So there was just basically two things, on, off, or 1, 0, basically.
Yeah. It was all in binary. Machine code.
Okay, interesting.
I'll have to read up on this later because it seems pretty interesting.
I mean, it makes sense because if I remember correctly, I read that, you can get binary to do some complex shit by because you can open routes and shut routes. It's hard to describe, but, you have many branching paths, and they're branching because you hit yes and no to each of these paths.
You're talking about, logic gates?
Yeah, kinda. Isn't that how computers run?
Well, kind of. I mean, again, all I know is how to make stuff happen in, Java and whatnot. I don't know enough about the rest to be a good authority. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not the best authority either, but I do know one thing about programming.
What do you know?
That it is the key to all of our success as humanity.
I mean, that's true. I won't even deny that. Without computers and the people who know how to
run them,
control and create with them, we would not be where we were.
Rust was made on the Unity engine.
Yes, there are lots of good games that were made in the Unity engine.
Space Hulk. Angry Birds.
No.
Angry Birds was a good game.
2017, we already got some stuff. Cuphead. Did you hear about Cuphead?
I've never heard about Cuphead.
You would love the art in that. Let's look up some Cuphead for you.
Okay.
I think this is just your style.
Is it?
Yeah. The whole game's graphics all look like an old cartoon.
That's pretty cool. That looks familiar.
Yeah.
I've seen an ad for it, but is it fun?
I've never played it.
Oh, ooh. Video
What?
games with good art.
Video games with the best art?
Dishonored has really great concept art.
Binding of Isaac.
No, it's because that game's religion doesn't. I mean, your opinions are valid. I mean,
No, I don't think Binding of Isaac has the best art.
I really like. Okay, so I like the concept art for Dishonored, crispy and nice and fresh. I liked some of the concept art for Dragon Age 2 is pretty good overall, or any Dragon Age game actually. Concept art's better than the lovely 3D models we get of people's pores rendered in Origins.
But if we're talking about the actual in-game graphics,
Oh, in-game graphics, that themselves. Origins was a masterpiece. I think Origins is the best BioWare game. It's really...
I can't tell if you're being serious.
Okay, look.
I haven't played Origins. Wait, that's the one I am playing right now.
Yes, you fucking idiot. It's the one you're playing.
I'm just like, that's Dragon Age 1. Ain't no special name.
Dragon Age Origins is... You can't jump.
It's real bad.
Well, okay, the story is good, and it's, like, I like the characters,
Listen,
but, like...
if you can't fucking jump, I don't want to play it.
It's very... The UI is very clunky, I feel. The battle systems in Dragon Age were not fixed for a while. Okay, Dragon Age 2 was the same, couldn't jump, and the UI was similar with the fighting. But Dragon Age 2 actually had pretty solid characters. You can fight me on this, but the characters were solid.
If you're wondering why Victoria was freaking out for a second, it's because I'm bleeding.
I'm Don Squirtle.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, games that are stylized well. I think Borderlands.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Very
100%.
comic booky.
Love it. Love it, 10 out of 10.
Journey was
Oh, yeah, that one's very
visually beautiful, as well as it had an amazing soundtrack.
Do you want to know? Yeah. You keep going. I'm thinking more.
I keep going.
Go.
I don't know what y'all think about pixel art. There are a lot of mixed reviews on pixel art. Some people say it's only because people are too lazy to do 3D models, but I think pixel art is very valid and can be quite nice.
So I think, the game series that I like, and I'm trying to think. Game series that I like include... Skyrim had really good concept art. I have the art book for Skyrim. It's my special baby.
Yeah, but...
I'll fucking kill you.
No. Let's look through my Steam library, and I'll tell you which games I think look nice. Yeah, let's see if I can get my Steam library up. I can tell you right off the head, I think that Rogue Legacy looks pretty nice.
What is it? Daddy versus child, or Daddy Daycare has really good graphics.
Who's your daddy? That game looks like shit.
I know, I love it.
It's real good.
I like the Etrian Odyssey series, a little anime, no, extremely anime, but I like it when video games have, like, static portraits, like 2D design. Now that the 3DS has finally gotten good 3D graphics, like with the Pokemon games, I can handle 3D models, but for a while they just all looked like ass, and I was like, I want the 2D designs back.
You know what series had really good character portraits? The Atelier series.
Oh yeah.
For a while. Then they switched to 3D models, because the sprite work was pretty good too, but then they switched to 3D models, and I mean, it was a thing. It's getting better now. My main issue is that for a while, all the characters were just lolly girls, and it's like, I came to play as a cool alchemist, not as a 12-year-old child wearing lingerie, which was upsetting, but the gameplay was still fun, and I still liked most of the characters.
Anime was a mistake.
I am all for female protags. I wish more games had female protags. I don't think we have enough of them, but I don't want them to be fan service, basically. I want, where's my tall, grumpy, well-clothed alchemy lady that beats up monsters.
I'm trying. What are games with good? Well, let's ignore the good. What are games with female protagonists? We have Bayonetta. I have never played Bayonetta. I drew a character once who looked a little like Bayonetta, and I realized that 3 years later, and now I'm afraid of Bayonetta. But
Tomb Raider.
that's true. Tomb Raider is supposed to be a good game.
I've never played Tomb Raider.
Yeah, we have Tomb Raider, Bayonetta, Alien Isolation,
Metroid.
Yep, classic. I mean, I think Zelda was a good protagonist in The Legend of Zelda.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Why? Zelda was the main character, right? She saves the boy. She just saves the little green boy, right?
Listen, I wish.
Who is another good female protagonist in a video game?
I mean, Princess Peach got her own game.
Wasn't it kind of sexist though?
She uses her emotions to fight, and her whole quest is to find a vibrator.
I want to kill myself. Video games are bad. Just a reminder.
That's true.
Oh, The Last of Us. You get to play as that young girl, and then you switch between the older man who's trying to stop her from getting murdered. I think.
Okay. Portal.
Oh, Portal, fucking classic. It's one of my favorite games. How did I forget it?
Undertale. Frisk is agender, so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some nice inclusiveness.
Yeah. You could also become a murderer and kill all your loved ones.
Yeah? What's the point if you can't?
Skyrim, I mean, you can be whoever. That doesn't really count, though, because it's a sandbox game.
I mean...
Mirror's Edge, I've seen shots of it, the parkour game.
Oh, yeah, you play as parkour lady.
Yeah, and you try to save your sister, question mark?
I don't know, I never played it. Oh! A lot of the Atelier series, protags, some of them are male, some of them are female, though. In one game, you actually switch between the male character and the female character, although most of the game is with the male character.
Yeah.
But, Reciteer, you play as a little lady shopkeeper.
Ah, I remember something.
Yeah?
Trace Memory for the DS is a game made by a good game series. They also did Hotel 201, Okay, it's a hotel game about a mystery man. Anyway, it's a good game. It's a good mystery game, but that's not the game with the female protagonist. Trace Memory, you play as a young girl who's looking for her father and who is missing large chunks of her memory of her family. And you visit the island because you believe your father is to be here. And you run into this ghost child who died, and you were trying to help him remember things as well from when he was alive, while recovering your memory, and because he doesn't remember much because he was watching his parents get shot. Anyway, it's a good game. I have yet to finish it because it's a puzzle game, and I'm bad at puzzles.
I could beat it.
Yeah, you could.
And the goal here with listing off these games with female protags is not like, oh, you can choose. We're trying to think of games where you play explicitly as a female protag, because there's significantly less of those than games where you play explicitly as a male protag.
Trace Memory is pretty good. It's a good game. I'm trying to think of other games. What are other games where you play specifically as a lady? Well, what's that one? Crypt of the Necro Dancer? That one jumping game. It's a music-based rhythm game RPG.
Do you play as a lady in that one?
Yeah, Crypt of...
explicitly?
Well, the main character is a lady, but I think you can unlock other characters eventually.
Crypt of the Necro Dancer?
Yeah.
I've never played it, but we have a friend who really likes that game.
Yeah, it's really good music-wise. I love it. I like listening to playthroughs. Hold on! Transistor. Transistor is the main character who's a lady.
What's that?
They're by Supergiant Games. They also did Bastion, which was their first game. They're an indie company.
Oh, that's one of your favorite games.
Yeah, Bastion's one of my favorite games. GG. Let's talk about Bastion, guys. In the story Bastion, which also has beautiful art, by the way. Supergiant Games has wonderful character designs and shit for their games. I am not a game expert, so I can't really analyze the UI, but I think aesthetically it turns me on. Bastion takes place during the time of a war between two countries. I don't remember. You play as a child from one country, and basically an explosion happened and a calamity happened, and the world's fairly uninhabitable at this point, and you are trying to find survivors. So you help this old ass man try to rebuild what's called a bastion, which is a self-sustaining like land ship. And throughout this, you're searching for other people, and you collect 2 other people for a total of 4. You only play as the boy, however, so it's not a female pro tag game. But you collect 2 people, both from the other side. They're both Ura, and they are, one's a young girl and one's an older man who just watched his fiance die on the cataclysm. And it's a good game about morality and saving people and and you get to fucking, this got good music. I dig my hole, you build a wall. One day that wall's gonna fall. And Transistor is a game that's futuristic. Now Bastion is more, it's futuristic in a sense, but it's more past fantasy, I feel. Transistor is much more futuristic. You were a singer who has lost her voice, I believe, and there is this group of kind of homosexual, like supervillains who want to collect the best. This is really obscure to describe. It's been years since I've done things.
This group of kind of homosexual supervillains.
Okay, but like,
way to queer code the villains. Like always.
I know, it's lovely. Anyway, hold on. The goal is to like collect people to make the world better, and you collect their souls, and they made them into weapons. Is the best way I can describe it. And they had volunteers, and the people who didn't volunteer, they tried to like beg to do. Anyway, the main character you play as a lady, and it's a good game. It's also sad. The villains aren't really like treated. I mean, they're more sympathetic than like other villains in games. But yeah. So GG, that's Transistor. Next game with female protagonist. Belle, you got this going?
I can't fucking think of any. There's not that many that are well known, and that's not a good thing. Gosh.
Girls Club.
Fuck off.
I love CDI games.
See that door? I want you to get out of my house.
Fucking fight me.
I will.
Okay, what's a good game?
You're disgusting. I want you to know that. You sicken me.
Well, I mean, we've kind of gone past the time limit. I mean, are we
What fucking time limit?
I don't know. Are we even doing a time limit?
There's no time limit. It's a podcast. People talk for hours.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Let's keep talking about video games.
Okay, games. I want to make a video game.
Yeah? What do you want to make a video game about?
Okay, I'm going to patent this so if anyone hears this and... Wait, people might steal my idea.
No.
If you fucking steal my idea, I will have my mother beat the shit out of you.
Here's the deal. No one's going to listen to this.
What if they do?
Then we'll just have to make it before they do.
I'm frightened now.
Yeah?
I don't want people to steal my ideas.
Deal with it.
What if there's a video game where you like... Well, there is a video game where you play as a slice of toast. So there's probably one where you play as like a slice of pizza. And like... the goal is to like get stuck to stuff. And
Okay, you don't fucking play as a slice of toast. You play as a slice of bread and you try to toast yourself.
Shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter. The principle's still there. Why are you still bleeding?
You know, just, you gotta.
Bleed for our Lord and Savior.
Bleeding.
How dare you check your phone? How fucking dare you?
Listen. I can do whatever I want. You know, a game I have mixed feelings about, Skullgirls, because it looks pretty
I
fun.
love Skullgirls.
Like, I want to play
aesthetically, but you know, titties.
Yeah, like cute girls are real good, but then
The thing
it
that
makes you wonder why people play it.
Here's
Do they play it because they like the game, or do they play it because... Oh, girl.
here's the thing. I've heard the I've heard the argument that Skullgirls is supposed to be a flashback to like old video games where like all girls were like sexualized, but it's like that's not a good enough excuse. You can do retro games without having everyone be sexualized.
You know, a porn artist worked on that game.
I'm not even surprised. I love the art in the game.
I love it too. It's real good.
I'm not even surprised that a porn artist did it because everyone has double D's. Except for Painwheel, who's my favorite character. Fucking leave Painwheel alone.
I don't think Beowulf has double D's.
Okay, fine. Beowulf doesn't have double D's, nor does Peacock. Just half of the cast has double D's.
And almost every move is a panty flash, which, I mean, I definitely, I definitely have not tried to stop it at the right frames. Who would do that?
Only a monstrosity of human proportions.
It's not like I want to see Beowulf's hot, hairy body contort.
I'm gonna cry. You know what video games need more of?
What?
Integrity. You know what I mean, right, Belle? What?
Explain.
I don't know. What
sort of integrity?
Ooh. What are you reading, Belle?
Oh, this is my library list. Do you want me to read off my Steam library?
Dash! Yeah.
Here. The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I'll list a game and you say if you've played it or what you think of it.
Yeah.
Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
Really creepy Ophidius complex.
Terraria.
Minecraft 2.0.
Shut the fuck up. Gary's Mod.
The only game that fucking matters.
Realm of the Mad God.
Never heard of it.
Team Fortress 2.
My fucking science teacher in high school.
Your teacher played Team Fortress 2?
No, okay, listen.
Oh wait, that video!
My teacher in high school, our chemistry teacher tried to explain cell mitosis to us, and he used a video that explains cell mitosis using the physical models of the Team Fortress 2 characters, and we had two scouts like splitting in half. He used the models. So whenever I think of Team Fortress, I think of that and also how the medic looks.
If anyone... Oh, you'd fuck the medic, wouldn't you?
No, I didn't say that.
You implied it.
Okay, continue. Continue.
Would you fuck the medic?
Continue.
No, you can't just drop that little hint and leave that alone.
I think the medic is aesthetically pleasing. Let's move on.
Rogue Legacy.
Never heard of it.
Sid Meier's Civilization 5.
Civilization 5 looks like a really fun game I want to play someday.
The Binding of Isaac.
Ophidius Complex, the original series.
Okay, how about, even if you've never heard of or played a game, you just tell me what you think it's about, judging by the title, or if you think it's good, judging by the title. Cthulhu Saves the World.
Doesn't it looks like a LucasArts game.
LucasArts?
They did Grim Fandango and like that weird alien one where children were sent back in time.
Surprised you know a company that I don't. Portal 2.
Good game. I've played really mean ass lesbian who's traumatized tortures a mute for the portion of the game.
That's the only valid description of Portal 2 ever.
It's incredibly accurate, and also Portal 2 is a sad game.
That's true.
Portal 2 is the only apocalyptic game I enjoy.
Undertale.
Good game. I actually would like Undertale. It's a very legitimate criticism of gaming. It's very fun. Characters are lovable. Good. Everything's... Okay, the fighting UI is so much fun.
Yeah.
It's such a good game. Please stop making porn of Sans.
Please make more porn of Sans and send it to us.
No!
So that not only do I get to see it, but they have to see it.
Okay, continue.
Magicite.
I've never heard of it, but it sounds like okay. In Final Fantasy, when you wanted to catch magic, you had to use Magicites, and it was the worst fucking system in the UI ever.
Which Final Fantasy did you play?
I only played Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. I didn't play the main
that's
games.
why.
That was a subcategory.
Fallen Earth. That's an
Post-apocalyptic-
MMO.
Post-apocalyptic bullshit.
Spelunky.
Oh, I've heard of this one. You dig down and you collect shit.
Risk of Rain.
It's probably a rhythm or a fighting game.
Wrong. But it is time-based, sort of.
Got it.
Fallout.
Post-apocalyptic horror were with a lot of heterosexuals, I think. I don't know. It's
With a lot of heterosexuals.
post-apocalyptic and terrifying.
Postal 2.
Looks like Portal 2.
Postal 2 is a game where you can set somebody on fire and then piss on them to put them out.
What?
Or you can just piss on them.
What is the game about,
You have to go and get your milk for Monday and then kill a bunch of protesters.
It sounds like a bad game. Moving on.
Unturned.
Vampires.
Zombies. Pixel Pirates.
Is this the pirate game where you... Oh, I've seen this one where you have like a group of people and you're pixel pirates and you're on a ship and you're trying to destroy people.
It was so good. It had
What?
so much potential
What?
in the early access, and then it got bad.
What happened?
It just got bad.
How?
It was a disappointment, just like me. Broforce.
Bros before hoes. You play as a bunch of pixel dudes who are, rip-offs of macho fantasy men in contemporary culture, and you get to punch the shit out of people. It is a hard game with interesting tactics of fighting.
You can there's actually 2 ladies that I've unlocked so far.
Yeah, they're like the final bosses, right?
No, I just unlocked 2 ladies. One of them has a gun leg. When you shoot, you jump.
I wonder if that's a reference to Kill Bill.
Probably, I don't know. Torchlight 2.
For Torchlight, I think. Is it a horror game?
No, it's a dungeon crawler. I never played too much of it, but...
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
Better Harvest Moon. I love Harvest Moon as long as there's pixels. I want my Harvest Moons.
Trine 2.
Trine?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard this one. You play as a wizard or a rogue or a warrior. It's a 3-person game and you try to basically not fuck up. You have to like work together and like carry shit to the end to stop the blight or whatever.
Isn't it like kind of like a puzzle platformer?
Puzzle platformer
I
with
played it
narrative.
a while ago.
With narrative. It's actually kind of interesting.
100% orange juice.
I don't like it.
It's an anime board game.
Oh, what?
I had a coupon for it.
I hate it already.
Breath of Death 7.
Indie game? Is it another anime game?
It's made by the same people who made Cthulhu Saves the World.
Who made Cthulhu Saves the World?
The same people who made Breath of Death 7.
What is their name, though?
I don't remember. It's just a little RPG. Do you want to play it?
Not right now.
You can play it while I do my math homework.
Maybe and not tonight.
Reciteer, an item shop's tale.
Anime.
Very anime, but pretty good. Rift?
I don't know. Is it a pixel fighter?
No, it's an MMO. Starbound.
I've heard of that one. What does that one do?
It's like Terraria in space.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
Hero Siege.
Is that? Is this where you send like an army of people?
No, this is a dinky little top-down thing. It's okay. Bioshock Remastered. Skullgirls.
Yep, sexy titty ladies who punch each other.
Saints Row the Third.
Saints Row fucking baffles me because I thought it was a serious game, but in like the new one you can fight with a dildo, so I don't even know what Saints Row is doing
Well,
anymore.
that's the third one. There's a new one where you're in like a space simulation or something.
What is Saints Row? What is Saints Row?
It's a game.
Starbound again.
Yeah. Tory Bash.
A fighting game.
A bizarre fighting game, yes.
Wait, is this the music-based fighting game?
No.
Mm.
Polybridge.
Oh, I've seen this one. Terrifying bridge stunts that are really good to watch.
I have no idea what that one is, so I'm going to
Dirty
skip it.
Bomb. How do you do it?
How do you do it?
Is it like a puzzle game you play with your friends?
Nope.
It's a sex game.
It's a sex game.
Oh my god. Is it good?
You play as an 8-year-old
I want to kill myself.
who her mom leaves for work, and you take your Barbie doll and your Ken doll and you just smash them together and see how many times you can make them have a special hug before your mom comes home.
Why? I'm unhappy.
Who's your daddy?
Look at the art for that fucking promo on Who's Your Daddy. Really good game about child murder.
Counter-Strike Source, which I only got because you need it for TF2.
Counter-Strike is like shooting game.
Yeah. Besiege.
That really cool game where you make towers and you destroy them.
Yeah, you make vehicles destroy towers. And all this other, A Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, which is a DLC.
Cool. Let's look up. I'm gonna look up a game and you tell me what you think of it.
Okay.
Belle Loomis. Belle, talk about something while I look up good video games to torture you with.
I think my favorite system of all time, not because it's the best, but because I have the best memories of it, is probably the PS2.
Yeah.
I remember I got it for my birthday. Christmas. I don't remember which year, but I was so excited. And it was real good. I enjoyed the heck out of it. And, there were some real good games for it. There was the Thai series. The first Atelier games to come to America were on the PS2. There were some other good ones. Ape Escape 2. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, because some of the best games were on that system.
I played this really creepy PC game that was like MMO where you had you bought these weird digital bears and you hooked them up to the game and they were like funkies, that's what they're called. Funkies. Hold on. This is important. I played this. Tell me what you think of this game, Belle.
I think it looks like one of those things where you have to buy a lot of shit just to do anything.
You do actually have to buy a lot of shit to do anything.
Skylanders Beta.
Was that a good game?
No, I'm saying that this is what it looked like.
Oh.
Okay, you know what else I think? I think the PSP was an underrated handheld.
PSP? I mean, there's a lot of good games on there.
Yeah. It wasn't underrated at the time, but it's kind of... Nobody
considers it a
remembers
legit... What about the Vita? I've heard of it. I've heard of brief fleetings of the Vita.
The Vita could have been good. If they had games. There were some pretty decent games on it, but no one bought it. It just died instantly, basically. The PSP had some good games. It had Patapon, Loco Roco, Monster Hunter.
Okay, I'm pulling up a game for you.
Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, which
Ooh.
I cried like a bitch at the end.
I've heard of that, I think.
Mana Khemia Student Alliance, which was made by some of the same people who made the Atelier series. The only reason I don't still play my PSP is because I dropped it and the screen broke, and I haven't gotten a new one yet.
I'm pulling up I'm pulling up a video game now, and I want you to tell me what you think of it. Like you did for me.
It looks cute.
Read it.
Final Fantasy Ring of Fates.
Yes, tell me what you think it's about. Look at these good graphics.
I think it probably just takes the very traditional, RPG. The land is in chaos, but you 4 heroes can save it by getting these, either maybe it's a ring or these gems, just something to save the world from the Demon Lord or some big baddie.
You're pretty close. It's about 2 children whose parents were murdered as a sacrifice to the king of the land, and they have to go through a bunch of diplomatic shit to kill the Hierophant, who's a
big dingus who's trying to murder them.
Shit.
And they go back into hell and talk to their father. It's a sad game. It has one of the worst UI systems I've ever had in a video game. When you want to cast magic, you have to use magicites consistently, which is like you need to collect them consistently, which they're like little balls of magic that every time you use them, you lose them. I hate it.
You don't just have mana?
You have both. You have to balance both.
What the fuck?
They got rid of that in the other game, which is the one I play religiously, which is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time, which has no one who's ever played this game exists. I'm one of like 2 people I know who's ever played of this game or heard of it. The Crystal Chronicles were a spin-off of the Final Fantasy series and are my only connection to the Final Fantasy series. But I cried like a bitch about Echoes of Time, and you should too. Because it's a good game. It's a really good game with good graphics and good story.
That is a me face inside of...
I've beaten this game like 5 times over on Plus. I'm currently on my first run of Very Hard. Let's see if I can beat it.
You don't like games that are hard.
I don't, but I've beaten it so many times I'm basically maxing out every single stat, so now I'm just trying to like use gems to max out this one character so that they have infinite stats.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you have gems that will up your core power once you beat the game, basically.
Oh.
It's actually fun, now that I know what I'm doing.
Sun and Moon was pretty good.
Sun and Moon was pretty good.
I still gotta play more so I can catch all the legendaries and make my perfect bug team.
They made a special DS with the cat from Crystal Chronicles, and I kind of want to own it. I want to own it, but DSIs are basically obsolete. Anyway, yeah. Let's see. Sun and Moon was a good game. You know what else was a good game?
What?
What could have been a good game?
What could have been a good game?
I don't know, Bill. What could have been a good game?
Little Big Planet 2.
I've heard of that, but I've never played it.
Campaign was pretty fun, and it has more capabilities than the first, and it could have been so good if the community was more fucking creative. Every single level on the community is just a copy-paste of the same old bullshit. Very rarely would you find something creative and new that you said, hey, I like this. But instead the community was so bland.
Yeah.
So bland.
I'm sorry, kid. That wasn't the game I was thinking of, but that makes sense. When, like, you have a potential for a game and it just turns out like shit.
Oh, the game that you thought could have been good was Incest Simulator.
I hate this game. I'm so depressed every time I think about it. Every time I think about it, I cry.
By the way, they are talking about Fire Emblem Fates.
It's a good game, but it's also a bad game.
Incest Simulator.
I'm upset about this video game. I don't want to talk about it, but it's a good game. I mean, it makes me want to play the older Fire Emblem games to see what it's about.
Have you ever wanted to fuck your adoptive sibling through your cousin? Well,
Stop
now
it.
you can. But wait, there's more. You also die.
I'm so mad. But it makes me want to play the older Fire Emblem games and the Advanced War games, because it looks like they're
Oh,
tactical.
Advanced Wars are real good.
I have the shitty DS one that you don't like, but I still want to play it someday.
It's not the greatest, but it's still pretty fun. Wait, you haven't played it even though you own it?
I played only a little bit. I haven't gotten really far into the campaign.
Because you don't like that dystopian stuff.
I have a hard time with future apocalyptic stuff because I don't want to think about the future. I have issues with the future.
Well, it's not going to happen when you're alive.
It doesn't make me feel any better, but thank you. I don't want to think about people ever suffering.
Listen, why did they give your sister a goddamn titty armor?
Listen, because anime is bad, too. Because the artist who did this, I think, did work on, sensual games, if you know what I mean.
ROG.
I'm really upset.
Have you ever played a porn game?
No, and I don't want to.
Never?
I'm trying to think of who would watch this show, and I'm trying to be age appropriate. But I have played, Corruption of champions. We did that once, Belle. You introduced me to corruptions of champions. Don't even talk to me like you're innocent in this.
Yeah, we played furry porn game while we Skyped your friend.
Yeah, that was riveting.
Laughed our asses off.
Why are video games bad? Why are so many video games bad?
Video games are bad because people are bad, and they make bad things.
But like, there's so many good aspects of Fire Emblem Fates that's interesting, like the duality of the kingdoms and like morality. And then it's like, oh, but you know, yeah, this isn't really incest because you're not related, but it is really incest. Like, news topic, because I'm still salty about one of the only games I can play.
New topic. I have calculus to do, so I think we're gonna call this a wrap.
Are we really? Okay.
Yeah.
We shall do that.
I'm Belle,
I'm Victoria.
and you were listening to the Fungal Lizard Podcast.
Don't get any diseases now or fungal growths.
Shut the fuck up.
Bye bye.